So how do Matt Baume, James Dean, Michael Johnston, and Ricky Martin all fit together? I've got some thoughts, so let's connect those dots. From the time I was young, I really loved TV, music, and movies, and even magazines. On the culture of pop, I have feelings and thoughts. Come along for the trip and we'll connect those dots. I'll tie things together that you might not know on a wild gay ride called Garth's Pop Culture. Oh! Episode 4, Matt Baume, James Dean, Michael Johnston, and Ricky Martin. First off, I need to tell you about the fabulous Matt Baume. His work is incredible, and I love his book, Hi, Honey, I'm Homo, which is a treat for TV nerds like myself. And I also wanted to shout out his recent video about James Dean and Rebel Without a Cause. I had never watched the movie, but I've seen James Dean's iconic imagery, and I knew of the gay subtext from the film The Celluloid Closet, which I rescued from a used VHS bin at Rogers Video over 20 years ago.
We know the Sal Mineo character is gay, partly because he has a picture of Alan Ladd in his locker, but also from his adoration of the James Dean character.
Hey, you want to come home with me? I mean, there's nobody home at my house. Heck, I'm not tired. Are you? See, I don't have too many people I can talk to. Yes.
People talk about whether that was a homosexual relationship. The intention wasn't that.
Are you cold?
Rebel was about tenderness, intimacy. It was an attempt to widen the permission to love when men were supposed to be one way with each other.
Can I keep it? Well, what do you think?
The real rebel seems to me the Sal Mineo character. He's got something to be rebellious about, namely being gay and in a homophobic society.
Matt does a wonderful job of digging deeper into that gay subtext and showcasing the chemistry between James Dean and Sal Mineo, plus highlighting the film's lasting impact on pop culture. And a little over a week after I saw Matt's video, there he was,
Jimmy Dean, on the cover of a magazine,
staring me down at the checkout, which I thought was pretty cool. I even found an Archie comic in my collection with a Rebel-themed cover with one teenage icon paying homage to another. But my most surprising discovery was a paper that I wrote for my high school English class as a 14-year-old titled Ghosts I Should Like to Meet. As a Lucy fan, it made sense that I mentioned Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, but I was surprised that I also mentioned James Dean. Clearly, I was a future homosexual. But seriously, it's kind of adorable that I wrote, I might want to meet James Dean's ghost because I would like to see if his off-screen persona was even close to his rebel look on-screen. Little did I know that 30 years later, Matt Baume's video would answer my question. Matt points out that James Dean was in favor of the film's gay subtext, which seems pretty rebellious for the 1950s. And Matt underscores that Dean's character showing vulnerability and kindness in the face of tough posturing is pretty radical too. I also wondered if I'd taken any pictures of James Dean at retro diners that I visited over the years, and bam! I found some pictures from Wimpy's Diner that I visited in Bradford, Ontario during a cottaging trip with friends back in 2018. Some of the decorations were kinda Mickey Mouse, but overall the decor was a classic display of Americana, including I Love Lucy and other classics, plus some Canadian content thrown in. Go Leafs go! And there were indeed a few nods to James Dean. To paraphrase Joan Jett, when I saw him standing there by the record machine, my first thought was,
I'm trying to find the words to describe James Dean without being disrespectful.
But seriously, with that pose, I was all,
What you gonna do with all that ass inside them jeans?
Rest in peace, James Dean. But the other thing I loved about Wimpy's Diner was the vinyl on the walls, including records by The Go-Go's, Bananarama, and it was only after I got back from my trip that I saw the edge of a record in one of my pictures that caught my eye. I zoomed in and saw Room in brackets, and I thought, could this really be
Boom, 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 let's go back to my room.
by Paul Lekakis? I checked the catalog number on Discogs, and it was indeed the Canadian pressing of Paul's 1980s dance classic. Paul was performing this anthem at Pride events as early as 1993.
I'd like to talk to you. How's about coming back to my room so I can fuck the shit out of you?
Okay, clearly he wasn't performing the radio version there, but I love that an openly gay artist has his 45 on the wall of a retro 50s diner like Wimpy's. And speaking of gay things in retro diners, YouTube suggested a new music video to me called Gravity by Teen Wolf actor Michael Johnston. The setting is California's Great Grill restaurant, which is much like Wimpy's. They even share the same I Love Lucy sign. And a beautiful same-sex love story unfolds, with Johnston's clumsy waiter spilling water and having dreamy thoughts about his new crush.
I had it for you. be chasing somebody like you. You made me crazy. I'm on the moon. My gravity is broken. I'm missing you.
This is right up my alley in terms of mashing up classic vibes with the modern present. In an interview with Zach Tremblay about making the video, Johnston admits to being a little nervous about putting a gay romance at the forefront of the plot.
I was really hesitant to shoot a gay music video. I was really nervous to put myself out there like that, and you know, it's one thing to play a gay role on film, and because you know it's just a character, but it's another thing to put myself out there as an artist. At the time, this song was about just believing in myself and loving myself, and like what makes me feel that really great feeling of like falling in love. And it's not usually another girl, it's usually a cute guy. So I went with my gut and I did something that really scared me, and I shot this music video.
And this ties in nicely to Ricky Martin's recent reflections on the Kelly Clarkson Show about being afraid to be out and appreciating allies like Bad Bunny and the freedom young artists now have to be themselves.
It's a different generation. I was very afraid and being myself.
Yeah,
I was afraid of being judged, and I was afraid of losing my career for just sharing
who you are,
who I am, and how I love. And now you have this generation of great artists, very talented artists that I don't care if I want to wear a skirt, I'm going to wear a skirt. And if I want to paint my nails, I paint my nails.
Yeah.
And I'm an ally to the LGBTQ plus community. How lucky they are, how lucky are we that we have this force of young people that are talking to young people.
How lucky for our children.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that are talking to young people about how important it is to just be and not be afraid of your emotions. On the contrary, share your emotions, celebrate what you feel and how you love.
Ricky is currently starring in the retrotastic Apple TV Plus series Palm Royale with comedy legend Carol Burnett. There's also an excellent chapter about Ricky in the book The Male Gaze by Manuel Betancourt, which I learned about through Matt Baume's podcast, The Sewers of Paris. So I love all of this, and I appreciate the ways that retro nostalgia can be remixed and reimagined as the years go on. Speaking of nostalgia, the other thing that I thought was funny about the paper that I wrote in 1994 was me saying, I'd like to go back in time as a ghost myself to see what went on in the 1950s. I could see the scandals and what made the 50s the good old days. My next episode will tackle some golden age scandals from the TV series Hollywood Babylon, based on the book by Kenneth Anger. One episode covered the alleged gay affair of Laurence Olivier and Danny Kaye, and that episode's reenactment of Olivier getting strip searched was a big part of my gay awakening.
It's an outrage. I've been knighted by the Queen of England. Come on.
And how does all that connect to Joe Dain getting robbed by Mickey Rourke, then taking charge of Men in the Daydream Obsession series before becoming the CEO of Terror Films? Don't worry, Joe, I'm gonna make it make sense in the next episode of Garth's Pop Culture O. In the meantime, I'm finally gonna watch Rebel Without a Cause, because thanks to Star Week, the Toronto Star's television magazine, I found out that Rebel Without a Cause was airing this month on both Hollywood Suite and Turner Classic Movies. So this is proof that an old school TV guide can still help you find cool things to watch. I also wanted to recommend an excellent article Jason Colavito wrote for Esquire, titled It's Time We Let James Dean Be the Queer Icon He Is, and Jason's book Jimmy, The Secret Life of James Dean, is set to be released in the fall. Don't forget to check out all things Matt Baume, including his Rebel Without a Cause video, plus Michael Johnston's Gravity, Palm Royale, and stay tuned for my next episode.
Oh!